Welcome everybody back to the channel, and welcome back to yet another episode prediction video for this week's up-and-coming episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 8, Episode 14, entitled Still Gotta Mean Something. Okay, so, as usual, we'll contain minor spoilers, so if you guys are not caught up, then, don't watch this video. We're predicting a future episode of The Walking Dead, it goes without saying. But yeah, man, we're gonna go over the sneak peek, and there's a promo, obviously, for this episode as well. And we're going to talk about them briefly, but we're mainly going to focus here on the synopsis. And the synopsis is as follows. You guys can follow along on AMC.com. I'll leave a link in the description to everything that you guys can see, the promo, the website, and the sneak peek, of course, as well, if you guys want to watch it. So the synopsis reads as follows. A Heaps prisoner makes a discovery. Carol searches for someone in the nearby forest. Rick and Morgan find themselves in the company of strangers. Okay. So, we have three things, obviously, here. We have a Heaps prisoner makes a discovery. I'm thinking right off the bat, a Heaps prisoner means the garbage heap people, which we know the only one left is Jadis. And a Heaps prisoner makes a discovery, so I'm thinking it's whoever Jadis has as prisoner. And we know from the previous episodes of The Walking Dead that she does have Negan. And, he's also in the promo at the very end. Jadis kind of has him strapped down on some sort of a trolley, if you will, and he's strapped down, basically laying prone, or not prone, I guess that would be supine, but either way, he's strapped down, he's tied up, and he looks up from the container and sees her, and she drags him out with the wheels and stuff. So Heaps prisoner makes a discovery. I'm guessing Negan maybe finds out about something, maybe finds out that Simon actually ended up killing all the garbage people, or, I don't know what he would find out. I don't know what discovery that would be, but I'm guessing it would be somewhere around those lines, right? That all of her people died because of Simon and because of Negan's people, right? And I don't know, there could be some realization here with Negan, which would make for good storytelling. I know it does come later, but I don't know. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. But definitely interested, to say the least. Even if Heaps prisoner, maybe that's not even Negan. Maybe I'm thinking too directly. Maybe we should be thinking outside the box. Maybe it's something else. But Heaps, everybody that I've heard referred to as a heap has been like the garbage heap, right? The scavengers, if you will, the garbage people, and one of their prisoners. And the only one I can think of right now is Negan. So I'm not sure what he's going to make a discovery of, but it's going to be interesting to say the least. Carol searches for someone in the nearby forest. Now, we know last episode, the kid, basically, Ben's brother or whatever. I don't necessarily remember his name at this moment in time, but he opened up the gates of the prisoners and demanded to tell them who killed his brother. And essentially from there, some of the prisoners escaped, and the kid kind of, we believe, ran off into the forest or something. Like, we're not sure where he went. Definitely going to be interesting, though, to see if she finds him. I mean, I personally really don't care about him, to be honest, like, whatsoever, honestly. He just pisses me off, to be honest with you. He really does. Like, he just pisses me off. He doesn't listen at all, and it makes me angry that he thinks that he can be a badass like that at that age. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stop. Just don't, And Carol, I guess, will be searching for him. Somebody, I guess, has to. Rick and Morgan now find themselves in the company of strangers. Okay, so we know from the promo that Rick and Morgan are planning on kind of teaming up here. Somewhere in the promo, Rick basically tells Morgan directly, you and I, let's finish this. And, they kind of team up again, if you will. I don't know one last time or not, because we know that Morgan is going over to Fear the Walking Dead. But I don't think this will be the last time we see them together, but it is going to be one of the last times we probably see them directly together, like only those two. If we see them together at all, again, it will probably be in like a group fight or something like that, but it's definitely going to be interesting, to say the least. I can't wait. I can't wait for a Rick and Morgan team up. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. So, I mean, yeah, it looked like they were out maybe, Rick basically told him, let's finish this, you and I, let's finish this. So I don't think they're talking about walkers. I think they're more likely talking about, saviors, and being the only ones capable to maybe go in and, take them out, whatever. And We know also from the promo that walkers are, like, at this point completely surrounding the hilltop. We can guess that they completely surrounded it and they all gathered and hoarded towards the hilltop because of the gunfire, because of the whole war and fight that went down last episode. So we can guess that the walkers basically made it there because of that noise. So that's what we're assuming, right? In a completely quiet world, if you hear that much noise, that's pretty standard for walkers to want to herd and go towards it, right? So I'm thinking that's why there's a bunch of walkers outside the fence. I don't think they're necessarily in danger from the walkers because that fence is much, like, really, really sturdy. It's super sturdy, and I don't really think anything like that, like walkers, is getting through it unless it's like a giant horde. And even then, honestly, you'd have to pull some like World War Z shit because, like, the metal wouldn't bend because it's not metal, it's wood, right? And they're very, very thick, like trunks made out of that wall. So I don't think that's really breaking anytime soon. I think like a wall like that is super strong to, like, force and to push, but obviously it would be pretty weak to something like, flame or fire, right? So that's one downfall to it, but at the same time, against walkers and stuff like that, like, that's a really solid wall, even better than like Alexandria's at this point, honestly. Because all theirs is metal, but we've seen that be toppled before, right? It can be toppled by something super heavy, like that giant ass guard tower, that we once seen. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to say the least. What's going to happen there with the zombies? Are they going to have to take them out, or what's going on? Throughout the promo, like I said, there's various things that are indicating that some of the war is going to be going down this episode. Rick and Morgan, they're going to be teaming up. I don't know whether that's to, find the saviors, track them down, stuff like that. That's what I'm kind of thinking, because Rick also talked to what I like to call the leader of the small savior group left there at the hilltop that were prisoners, but I don't think they're necessarily prisoners anymore. I think they've kind of proved themselves. I don't know if they're still being chained up or whatnot, but he is out and about, it looks like, and he doesn't really look like he's chained up. But Rick approaches him and basically says, "Where are they going?" And he says, "I already told Maggie." And then Rick basically, says, "Well, tell me." And that's kind of where that scene ends. So I'm guessing he got some info. Maybe he's going to go out with Morgan. That's maybe when he goes to ask Morgan, for help tracking them down, if you will. I know that they want to find Negan. He doesn't necessarily know where he is. Could we see a rescue mission there with Negan? Like, could we see Rick and Morgan rescue Negan, but then ultimately, to kill him? Who knows? It's definitely going to be interesting, because I don't really necessarily think the saviors are going to be wanting to rescue Negan, or at least Simon isn't. He kind of left him for dead back there in the first place. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. So the rest of the promo is, it's there, but there's not really too much significance to it. The sneak peek, on the other hand, we get to see the group, not Rick or anything, but the group, like Rosita, Daryl, Maggie, they're all there in a room in the hilltop. Okay, so yeah, the group is gathered around in the hilltop, and they're wondering, like, what the best case of action is to fight the saviors. Daryl suggests maybe just going hand to hand, basically pointing with his knife. Maybe that's best case scenario, because he's kind of thinking that they're probably out of bullets after, like, all the bullets they spent, trying to assault the hilltop. They had to expend a lot of the reserve and stuff like that, and you can't really, you'd have to find more. There's not really any more around here, because I'm sure it's been picked pretty clean. But then everybody realizes, and Rosita basically says they can make more. They have our bullet maker, obviously referring to Eugene. And Maggie points out, do you think the saviors would have the resources and stuff like that to actually pull it off? Do you think they'd be able to? Do you think they'd have the materials to, do that? And she basically pointed out, well, if not, I know exactly where they'd find them. Because you got to remember, back in, I believe, season 6, she went with, she knows of the place where Eugene and Abraham went to find the bullet, like the bullet place with all the, the punches and all the machinery and everything like that, right? So she knows exactly where that place is, and we got to think that they may be going on a mission there. Maybe they ended up sending Rick and Morgan on a mission there. Are they going in two separate places? We're not sure, man. We're not sure. But during the promo, we can also see a little snippet of this, basically saying, we find them and we take out the man, kind of thinking it's pointing towards Eugene, but I don't think they're going to ultimately go with that because, I mean, Eugene's a pretty key part of the comic books, and he's not all bad in the TV show right now. He's basically doing what he has to survive. He's scared at this point. And that's what they don't necessarily understand. They just think that he's completely sided with the Xaviers now. But I mean, that is true, but he's only done it to survive. He's only done it to live, you know? And that's something they're going to realize, and hopefully they do soon. And hopefully Eugene is not such a coward to maybe, you know, go back with them instead, right? So, anyway, that's basically it, guys. That's my predictions. I think that's what we're going to be able to see in this week's episode. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm excited for Rick and Morgan to team back up, and, you know, I'm sure they're going to go crazy on some people or some zombies, whatever they do, whatever they end up doing. I'm sure they're going to be pretty great together. I can't wait to see it. Morgan, obviously more crazy than Rick with the stick, and, you know, just all around, you know, general crazy. Rick's, you know, he's been there before too, so I mean, I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can still get down with it, right? Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you. And if you guys like live streams, man, if you guys like gaming and stuff like that, I stream every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern over there on my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/elementofrost. Monday to Friday, I stream at 2 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday and Sunday, I start streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys go over there, drop a follow on the Twitch channel or a subscription. We have a sub now. We have a sub button now too, guys. So if you guys are interested, I'm live there every single day. Anybody who watches these videos, I really encourage you guys to do so. If you guys like these videos, you know, for me. But if not, it's all good. I'll see you guys obviously on Monday with my episode review. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.